This Ravens offense in 2022 is really turning into something that's very unique and multifaceted. You have so many guys who can attack the defense in different ways that have, a high talent level, if you ask me. We just won a game without Rashad Bateman, and we only got 22 snaps from Ronnie Stanley, who looks like he's just going to walk right back in and be as effective as a pass protection left tackle as he was in 2019 and early 2020 before he got hurt. There's one guy, however, that does a little bit of everything, and he's consistently in the right place. It happens. It seemingly is happening every game now. That's Devin Duvernay. I think there was a lot of discussion before the season started about the Ravens, wide receivers, and did they need this? Did they need that? I think all that discussion has been quieted because of the explosive big playability of Rashad Bateman. And we would all love Bateman to get more targets for real, right? But also just the overall impact that Devin Duvernay has. Calling him an X factor is not right. It's not even fair. He's like the A factor, But the crazy thing is we have so many alpha contributors, even after talking about Lamar, J.K. Dobbins, Bateman, Mark Andrews, Gus Edwards when he comes back. Justice Hill has been balling. Devin Duvernay, where would you rank him? I don't know, man. I just know the guy makes plays. He got the ball on 3 runs Sunday night against the Bengals for 24 yards. Only 2 of which I guess was planned. He also got 5 catches on 7 targets and very clearly could have had a touchdown up the middle of the field. I think in the third quarter, Lamar overthrows him by a little bit. Devin Duvernay, during the course of this video, you're going to see him line up so many different places, particularly Sunday night against the Bengals. He is, if you ask me, someone the Ravens need to lock down for a long time, because every time he gets an opportunity, he takes advantage of it. And I think he's had an impact in every game. It's difficult to quiet a guy who can do so many things. Now, a couple of the things that he's done this year, to be honest with you, with the pass game, he lines up as the X sometimes. Sometimes he lines up down here, outside of the bunch. In this case, it's an under center bunch concept against the Dolphins. And Duve's got the speed to threaten people, and then the hands. He just doesn't drop anything. This is an amazing catch. This is not just a good catch. It's not like this is a poorly thrown ball. It's a play action concept. We all want to see Lamar under center using the play action, forcing the defenses to have to try to recover. Sidearm throw, Duvernay catches. You guys can see it hopefully up there. Hopefully that frame's not in your way. Great hands. He showed that last year on a couple of catches. Remember his touchdown catch up in Detroit? Granted, he was uncovered. He was wide open. But great leaping catch. First touchdown of the year for us. Again, he's the outside receiver in the bunch. Man-to-man coverage against Hall. Probably the 3rd or 4th best cover guy that the Jets had. And Duvernay beats him man-to-man. He's effective against zones. He's effective against man. I think he has 4 or 5 third down catches this year, including that one, which was 3rd and 5. I think that one put us up 7-0. I could be wrong. Here's another 3rd and 5, same formation, bunch left A. He's the outside receiver again. You're going to get, the inside receivers doing this, and they're going to clear things out. And then Duvernay's going to bring this back across the middle of the field, again against man-to-man, and he beats it easily. I don't know. What's his ceiling? What do you guys think his ceiling is? Kind of seems like to me that Devin Duvernay is that kind of guy that if he leaves your team and goes somewhere else, he could be a superstar. I mean, like a 15 touchdown a season guy in a different situation. Maybe a team that's a little more limited offensively in terms of their talent. Like for the people who were complaining about our talent level on offense before the season, I'm not saying that their concerns weren't legitimate. I had some too. Man, we were wrong. Just admit it. Period. We were wrong. Flex set, he's the outside receiver. And Duvernay not only, makes catches on balls thrown to him, he makes catches on balls that he's not supposed to. Remember last year, Tyson Williams fumbled against the Chiefs in week 2 down on the goal line? Duvernay's the guy who caught it and scored. Right here, Mark Andrews and Milano kind of tangled up together. Andrews doesn't catch it. Duvernay is Johnny on the spot. Guess what he did the other night? I think this is the first possession of the game. The snap hits him, which is crazy. There's something about Devin Duvernay, guys. There's something about him. He is meant to have the football in his hands for the Baltimore Ravens because there's at least 3 times that I'm aware of. This is the third one. I just showed you one against the Bills, and then I referenced the one week 2 last year against the Chiefs. There's 3 times at least where he's not supposed to get the ball gets in his hands, and good things happen. He is meant to get the football for the Baltimore Ravens. I know I'm talking about fate and things that are not schematic or tactics, but there's just something about Devin Duvernay. I love plays like this. Z hide off the play action. So we're showing the run fake to this side. Lamar's booting off of it. You got a DN Hendrickson. He's got to respect that. So Duvernay's just going to slide out into the flats. That DN is put in basically no man's land. He's got 2 people to cover. And then you got a recovering inside linebacker who can't run with Devin Duvernay anyway. We need to run this play more often. We need to run this with Duvernay more often. He just needs to get the ball more. The crazy thing is, though, JK wants the ball more. He needs to get the ball more. Bateman needs to get the ball more. I mean, where do all these touches come from? I guess on some level you say, well, let's stop running with Lamar. Well, as we saw Sunday night, when the chips are down, sometimes it's our best option. He's back here at tailback. There's a lot of people who talked about using him in that way. This is a real interesting personnel grouping for a couple reasons. One of the things the Ravens do on third down a lot of times where it's an obvious passing situation, Ricard will be the only running back on the field for us. To my knowledge, I say we've done that 10, 12 times this year. It might be 15 or so. It might be a little more than that. This personnel grouping, if you do use Duvernay in this manner, teams would assume it's a passing formation, a passing personnel group, and then you line up in a formation like this, they may not be able to match it. This is the Bengals 4-3 personnel group. They have 3 inside linebackers. Says a lot of good things about Ronnie Stanley, too, that he's able to pull out here. And then as Andrews is locked up with Hendrickson, Ronnie Stanley just puts an end to all that Trey Hendrickson fun that he had. Just says, no, I don't think you're going to get involved in this play. The dynamic changes when Ronnie Stanley plays for us. And I think the dynamic changes when Devin Duvernay gets the ball. He may not be on the level of a Ronnie Stanley, so that comparison kind of fails. But all he does is make plays for this team. How many times a game do you think he should get the ball? Let's do this way. This is a short catch, a 5-yard catch on 2nd and 20. I think after a hold on, I think it was Zeitler. Maybe it wasn't Zeitler. I can't remember who it was. This is the all 22 of the same play. I love him in motion. The problem is sometimes we get this type motion. Like, you can tell he's not getting the ball on this motion. You can tell it's not where we're going to fake it to him and then Lamar keep it in the other direction. I feel like he does play so much, especially on kick return and punt return. At some point in our future, we're going to have to let somebody else return kicks. I mean, to me, that time is sooner rather than later, even though Devin Duvernay is all-pro. He's too valuable. He is too valuable. This is just smooth. He catches this ball and then takes a hit almost immediately. Great timing by the safety. Great form on the tackle. Look, his chest with, in terms of the surface area that he's contacting with. It just doesn't bother Duvernay. Smooth, catches it. First down, drops the ball. He is that guy that does not celebrate a whole lot. This is the route where he comes from this side. And I love this because we got Andrews over here who's normally running that route. And this time we're running it with Duvernay. We got to switch it up a little bit, though. We got to put Andrews on the line and Duve off. It can't always be the guy on the line of scrimmage who's running this route. If you're not sure what I'm saying, let me know in the comments section, and I'll explain later. All right, a jet sweep to Duve. He's going to be here. Another thing we've got to adjust is we can't always be running this with Mike Davis as the tailback, the running back who's lead blocking. It's kind of a giveaway for me. When I see this formation, it's going to be QB power read, which is what this is. Lamar gives it to Duvernay this time, though. You got a pin down block by Andrews. Davis is going to lead. Ricard is helping out with the 5 technique. Kind of wish he didn't help with the 5 there. I wish we went and got the inside linebacker. But in any case, Duve for a 13-yard gain, or should have been a 13, 14-yard gain. I think there was a terrible spot on this. Somebody on Twitter pointed that out today. No, it's a 3rd down. My bad. It was a 3rd and 2. It wasn't a 13-yard gain. Maybe 9. But he can do all these things all game long, and I think he's almost too valuable to be on special team. Maybe not yet, but soon. The screen, this is the guy we should have been running screens to against Miami's sticks blitz 0 coverage for real. This is the guy that would punish them. Look at Ricard. Duve blocks well too. I don't think I'm going to show any examples of that in this video, but Duvernay blocks well too. He stalk blocked twice the other night against the Bengals, and the Bengals guys on defense, they want to hit you. He's not stalk blocking someone who's not a quality defensive player. We got an opportunity to get him the ball here. There's definitely pressure in Lamar's face. Got an opportunity to get him the ball. It's a little underthrown, I think. The one that I should show is the one that was overthrown, I think down to the same end zone. Not only is Duvernay making plays, but there's more plays out there to be made if he gets more touches. Another jet sweep. What I love about this one is we don't have Davis Lee blocking out in front. We got Ricard. And Ricard goes and gets some inside linebacker. We leave the D end unblocked, which is what we should do on this play anyway. We're just out on the edge. The safety makes a great play, but this stresses the defense. Von Bell, man. Von Bell is playing at an incredibly high level. This stresses the defense horizontally. So we've got, off of this play, just so you know, we've got Duvernay going in motion and then Lamar keeping it, right guard pulling. And this is the play that Lamar is just murdering teams with. QB power read. Some people call it inverted veer. Twice in this game he chose to give it, and I'm glad because we even said that in a video like last week. We need to give this sometimes to Duvernay. Another pass to Dube. He's up top. Got that weird return motion. And this is a beautiful play by Lamar. He's getting hit by Logan Wilson on this delayed blitz. Lamar sees all this space to Duvernay, who's got man-to-man coverage beat, and he just flips it out there. Duve is so reliable. I don't know who to compare him to as a receiver because he does so many things. Kick returns, runs the ball on jet sweeps. We put him in the backfield. We tossed it to him. Who is someone we have had in Ravens franchise history that was similar to this? Calling him an X factor is unfair. It's not the right term. He's too good to be called an X factor. He should be earlier in the alphabet. Maybe he's a B factor and Lamar is the A factor. Duvernay is he's a unique player. He's a special talent. We are very blessed to have him. And, it's also interesting to me to look at other guys on our roster. Tylan Wallace, Prochet, even Bateman to an extent. How good are they going to be a year from now? A year ago, Devin Duvernay made plays in 2021. But a lot of us, kind of myself included, didn't think he'd be able to have a big impact in 2022. All of those people, myself included, we were wrong. We would not have guessed this level of impact. How good can Bateman be a year from now? I'm not saying, hey, we don't need to draft receivers. No, I'm cool with drafting receivers. Those big 6'3", 6'4" guys that are difficult to guard, Alec Pierce, George Pickens, some of those guys, yeah, they're tantalizing. You'd love to have them on your team. But I'm glad we got this guy. I'd take him over all of them because he's a all-pro kick returner. He can run the ball from the backfield, doesn't fumble, catches everything. And for some reason, the football just finds him, even when it's not supposed to. Let me know what you think about Devin Duvernay's play this year, how well you think he's playing. I think he's playing at an all-pro level in a kick return and offensively. Now, offensively, you'll say, well, he don't have that many catches. No, but he's catching a large majority of the targets he gets, number one. Number two, he's also running the ball. And that QB power read concept is our most devastating concept by far. And on that concept, Duvernay is a huge threat on the sweep to the outside. So teams have to respect it. And it kind of sets up Lamar as the hammer, as the home run hitter, to Duvernay as the leadoff guy. Let me know what you think of my analysis of Devin Duvernay's play, and also me linking and mentioning other guys on our roster that are in a similar situation in 2022 as Devin Duvernay was in a year ago in 2021, sitting behind Sammy Watkins on the depth chart, behind even a Bateman on the depth chart, behind Marquise Brown. And now it's been revealed that we have this tremendous talent. Could he have done this last year? I don't know. He's developed some. He's gotten bigger, faster, stronger, better understanding of the playbook. I'm not into that conversation. We should have used him more like this last year. I'm not into that. What I am into is recognizing that the guy's having an unbelievable year. And me personally right now, I cannot remember another player in Ravens history who's able to impact the game across, with the run, the pass, and the kick returns and punt returns. Let me know if you can think of who that player was. Besides Jermaine Lewis, I guess. That's the only one I can think of. Appreciate you guys' time today. Let me know what you think of the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already.